Yeah. No, I'm not going to label the remotes.
You already forgot.
It was this one. It was this one. Put that one somewhere else. Thank you. I almost forgot. And almost is not the same as actually. It's sad. Oh, my word.
Excuse me.
The joys of middle age.
Yeah.
Can't remember something from 5 seconds prior.
And you're tired all the time.
Yeah. I mean, that's, the memes, shows you something from Windows 98, the solitaire game. If you had a favorite deck, your back hurts.
Mm-hmm. I still have my favorite deck on my solitaire on my phone. The one with the haunted house and the little bats.
Oh, yeah. That was the best. Close second was the hand holding the cards because the little ace. I thought that was funny.
Or the palm tree. Every now and then the sun would wink at you.
So, happy Saturday. We're middle-aged. We live for Saturday because that's the best day.
Everybody lives for Saturday, really. It doesn't matter what your age. Because Saturday means that get to sleep in a little bit more.
Yeah. It's the Loverboy song. Living for the weekend.
Oh, is that who does that song?
Yeah.
Everybody's working for the
weekend.
Yeah.
You want to play with my heart?
I can't hear that song without seeing Chris Farley and Patrick Swayze.
Oh, yeah. Always. But hi, folks. Quick introductions. Hey. I'm here. I'm Mark. I'm your host.
I'm Beth. Just Beth.
Just Beth. And so it's season 3 of Discussions with Davis, and we're chugging along. A lot of things have been happening in life, and a lot of things have been happening in the world, and some of it very exciting, and some of it a lot of kind of tedious. Tomorrow is Super Bowl Sunday.
We don't care.
We're going to IHOP.
We go to IHOP every year on Super Bowl Sunday because it's empty.
Yes.
No TVs.
Nope.
A couple years ago, we went to IHOP on Super Bowl Sunday. We forgot it was Super Bowl Sunday. And we were the only ones in there. And the poor employees were so bored. They were like deep cleaning the booths on the side. Not the part you sit on the sides. And they're like, somebody's here.
Like, we were so oblivious to it being Super Bowl, to the game being on, that, we went to Red Robin, like, let's go to Red Robin. Yeah, get some onion rings. Okay, sure.
And
wow, this place is
swarmed.
Wow.
And just across the same parking lot of the same shopping center as IHOP's like, screw this, let's go to IHOP.
Right? I mean,
nobody.
Within visual range of each other, there's nobody at the IHOP.
Because there are no TVs at the IHOP. There is no bar at the IHOP. There's no, yeah.
But you know what IHOP does have?
Pancakes.
Lots and lots of pancakes and pretty good omelets.
We stopped going to Denny's a long time. We used to go to Denny's a lot. And we stopped going because they just kept raising their prices and the quality kept going down, and they kept charging for things that they didn't used to charge for. Mm-hmm. And all of our favorite things got taken off the menu. So we're like, screw this. So we started going to IHOP, and they're great.
I know they used to have a nice, good Cobb salad, but then it's like more and more of the things that used to be standard on the Cobb salad became extras.
Yeah. If you wanted meat on your salad,
no,
you had to pay for it.
Yeah, the chicken strips.
It never used to be like that, but then they started making you. This was before 2020, so it's
Oh yeah, this was I think right before Lily was born.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so this is a long time ago.
2015, yeah, that's good, 10 years.
And so yeah, it's like we just
stopped going.
No, Lily was already born, I think, because I remember taking her to Denny's as a baby, but not long after. But yeah, it just got too expensive, and it's like, what? You're charging me for meat? It comes with meat. They're like, not anymore. Yeah. It's like, oh.
Which really bites, because I like family diners. I like family-style diner establishments, and they're kind of going the way of the dodo.
Yeah, unless they're, the ones that's their shtick. Yeah. Like the 50s nostalgia diners, like
Yeah. Yeah, they're going away.
No, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Chewy's?
Oh, Chubby's?
Chubby's. There we
Chubby's,
go.
yeah.
Chubby's, yeah.
Out there.
Chewy's is a sandwich shop. Chubby's, yeah.
Yeah.
They're a 50s nostalgia diner. And they have good food.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's always a crowd in there. They have the classic, bar. The diner bar.
Yeah.
Where people, sit at and get served. But they also have the booths and the tables and
The
stuff.
booths, yeah. And there's always malt shop music playing.
Mm-hmm.
Malt shop 50s music. The burgers are all themed, named after things,
Mm-hmm. Like Frank Sinatra and stuff.
Frank Sinatra,
Rat Pack type
Wolfman
things,
Jack.
Yeah. I remember Lily's very first day of school, of kindergarten. My friend took me there, and she's like, "I'm taking you out to breakfast so you can take your mind off the fact that Lily started school today. Because I know you're stressed out about how she's doing and how good she is. Is she okay? So I'm going to take you out to breakfast. We're going to go shopping." So that's a good friend right there. Because yes, it was driving me nuts. But her teacher is great, and sent me pictures of her throughout the day. She's doing fine. So
now you kind of look forward to Lily going back to school.
I do. Oh my goodness!
Get this child out of my house, out of the house for a while.
Well, the first day of school, no matter what grade it is stressful because she's going into a new class with a new teacher. And it's like, how is she going to react to this teacher? How is she going to react to things being harder? How is she going to, she's going to be with the same kids.
Yeah.
But the teacher's going to be different. And it's like, will she get along with this teacher? So it's always stressful.
Yeah.
But,
we've been really
I'm sure
lucky
everyone goes through that.
Yeah. And we've been really lucky. We've had a lot of good teachers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So friends of ours, not so much, but we've had good teachers.
We dodged a couple of bullets. But anyway. But yeah.
So, yeah, things are happening in the world. And we've been, keeping our pulse on the things of,
Our fingers on the pulse.
Our fingers on the pulse of things, and we're winning a lot in the world. A lot of cultural shifts have finally caught up to major things. A lot of, I was thinking about this earlier. We've talked about it at dinner. If we're sitting down and talking about the events of the day. We both watch a number of podcasts. It's like just the idea of Pixar didn't happen, and you better bring the receipts has finally caught up with Capitol Hill.
Yeah. Everything's going. The leftists are pulling their hair out, and it's hilarious.
It is.
It's hilarious.
It's like who are they trying to signal to?
And what's really funny is these people crying and screaming on the internet. This is something we've said for a long time. Is the great thing about internet is it gives everybody a voice. But the bad thing about internet is it gives everybody a voice, including idiots. Yes. And the problem is the idiots are the loudest. They're not the majority. They're the loud minority versus the quiet majority. And the quiet majority has had enough and has spoken up, and reform is happening. It's like, because all these people are pitchforks and torches for Donald Trump and Elon Musk, but like they're just this much in a group of this much. Everyone else who voted is like, yes, do it.
Oh my God. Yeah, because if you ask anybody, any sane person that you're just shooting the breeze with, and ask them, do you trust the evening news?
No.
Do you think politicians are honest?
No.
Do you think corruption happens in the government? You bet your buttons.
Well, see, the thing about legacy media and the evening news, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, all that stuff, nobody really watches. The only people who are watching that are the elderly who don't do podcasts. Everyone else, from our age and younger, is listening to podcasts and getting our news from real people, not this watered down, edited spun, twisted around stuff.
Yeah.
The only people who watch that are, older.
Yeah. If anybody's watching anything, yeah, they're getting it on podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they've kind of coined the term podcast presidency. But, this politics is downstream from culture, and this is cultural items that have been brewing for a good couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Phrases such as "Pixar didn't happen," "Bring the receipts," or "Cool story, bro. Now what really happened?"
Yeah. Yeah, because people are just so dishonest anymore.
Yeah.
And they will make up anything. They will throw out bold-faced lies.
Like what happened to Joe Rogan.
Yeah, what happened to Joe Rogan in that book that they put out about Kamala's presidency run.
Yeah. Oh, he tried to make it so hard for us, and we couldn't.
we tried. He screwed Kamala over. We tried to get on his podcast, but he wouldn't do it. And it's like, no.
No.
I've got receipts. I've got the paper trail that showed that I tried several times to get her on here, and she refused.
And if it
or
was
her
really
people
that
refused.
hard, her people just made it so onerously difficult, and it wasn't going to be in his studio. It's like, no, they were trying to make it fake, and he wasn't going to do that. But his show was good enough for Trump went on it.
Yeah, Trump and JD Vance went on it.
And JD Vance and John Fetterman.
Mm-hmm.
Still struggling through his aphasia after his stroke.
We make jokes about that.
I was really wrong about that guy.
He's a great guy. He's a real he's a real Joe. He's an average Joe. But right after or right before his election, he had that stroke or something like that, and
it was pretty bad. It was bad. He couldn't speak or anything,
and yet he still won against Dr. Oz.
And you know what? And as horrible as a guy who can't talk and can't understand what people are saying to him, as bad as that is, turns out we were better off with Fetterman than we were Dr. Oz, because Dr. Oz was a carpet bag and snake oil salesman. So
total charlatan.
Yeah, so that's a great example of just because they have an R on the end of their name doesn't mean you can trust them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the divide of the R's. There's a lot of different camps in there, but there's the two majors, which is the MAGA Maha camp, and then there's the GOP camp, which is the snake oils, the leftover from Bush and Cheney and Romney and the people, the bad actors that got us into the Iraqi war. We don't trust you. We don't like you.
Yeah, we're not like, okay, they're from this party, therefore we like them.
No, we're not that blind.
Yeah, we're not that blind. There were some really bad Republican presidents out there, and there were some really great Democrat presidents out there. Kennedy.
JFK?
Yeah.
Yeah.
JFK was a Democrat, and he did a lot of great things. Unfortunately, it cost him his life, but she's yawning.
Okay.
She's playing rather than going to sleep.
Some nights she's out like a light. Sometimes she takes her time falling asleep.
She's trying.
Yeah.
She's trying.
Yeah.
Anyway. So things are, like people are pulling their hair out and screaming, or they're, got, cheerleading pom-poms and yelling, yeah, go, go, go.
Oh my God. I saw one earlier on X that, it was so funny. The caption, somebody said, watch this video. It was AOC doing her being AOC.
Oh God, I hate that woman so much.
But it was so perfect. She's a buffet of memes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we just got to keep her in office for that reason.
Because she's entertaining.
Yes, because somebody put up there, they captioned it perfect and said, watch this video with with the sound off. That is a small child having a broccoli fit.
I don't wanna.
And she's, just going on about something with her giant glasses and her horse teeth. Bang.
Yeah.
She does. When she laughs, her teeth, it's like...
Not even when she laughs, when she...
screams or whatever.
When she lives. They're always there. You always see them, no matter what. She's awake. Maybe when she's asleep, too. I don't know. But,
that and, Tim Walz's facial expressions. I mean, we got to keep these people around just for that. Just for that.
For the memes.
For the memes. That's the sad part of the Biden presidency coming to an end, was the memes were great.
I'm happy though.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the fun part, of what's happening with Doge and all that right now, is the memes have been endless.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's that thing you were watching earlier today. It was like a dad, and he had his daughter behind us, and he was like, this whole Doge thing and USAID,
Yeah, he takes a MAGA hat and he's just like, I'm done. I regret it.
Yeah, it's like, I just got a call. I lost my job. I was a senior officer at USAID in the bus department, where we were trying to figure out, do the wheels on the bus really go round and round? But we lost our federal funding because of Elon Musk, and now I'm out of a job. And behind him is his daughter, and she's trying so hard not to crack up.
It's like a 6-minute video, and it's like
not even that long.
Yeah,
it's like 4 minutes or something.
4 minutes, but I couldn't make it. As soon as he said wheels on the bus, I lost it.
Because that's the kind of stupid stuff they were funding.
It's like he delivered that with a deadpan, serious face. How many tries did that take, or is he that good?
I don't know. It probably took a lot of tries.
Because you see his daughter over his shoulder, and she's just biting her lip, trying to not laugh.
And he ends it with he's like, and the really sad part is, I don't know if we will ever know if the wheels on the bus go round and round. It was so funny.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. I think that would have been a better use of money than some of the stuff they sent money to.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, if we're not funding Iraqi Sesame Street, who is,
Right.
If we're not funding gender studies programs in Pakistan, how will they know what a woman is, or the difference between men and women?
Or I can't remember where it was from, some trans comic book in,
I think, Ireland.
No, it wasn't Ireland. It was some Middle Eastern country.
Kazakhstan?
Probably, I don't know.
Oh wait, I mean, is Kazakhstan Middle East, or I don't know. That's kind of in that gray area.
Like Syria or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, we were funding, LGBTQ screenplays in Ireland and comic books in New Zealand, and it's like, what the are we doing here, man?
It's like the USAID was made to regulate the money that was going overseas, but no one was regulating the USAID. It's like,
no.
Who signed off on all this stuff?
Nobody.
Exactly.
And that's been the problem.
And it was like money given to somebody in exchange for money being given back. And
I mean, oh my God, you're talking about the level of money laundering? Money was going from there to things like the Tides Foundation, the Open Society, the Soros Foundation. Yeah, there's somebody that never got elected, George Soros and his son Alex, that have their fingers in a lot of people's pies. Nobody elected Elon. Actually, we did. But
we elected Trump, and he appointed. You don't need somebody to be elected to do what Elon Musk is doing. Who gave Elon Musk this power to do this? Like the president. He has that ability. The president gave him this power.
Yeah, but here's where the money laundering really comes in. But yeah, money was being given from, nobody approved this, no congressional oversight on this, from USAID to things like the Tides Foundations, to the Soros Foundation, the Open Society Foundation, and these things. Well, all of those make campaign contributions to Democrat politicians who then vote on the budget for USAID, for USAID.
So we're basically using taxpayer dollars to fund Democratic.
Laundering it through there, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just shell companies funding each other.
The only people who are getting really upset about this whole Doge thing are the ones that have something to lose, and lose a lot.
Yes.
And it's the politicians. The people aren't going to get hurt because of this. Like, the people are going to the American
benefit.
people, the voters, are going to benefit from this. The only people who are going to get in trouble or get their pockets, pulled out
Mm-hmm.
are the politicians. So the politicians are trying to get their people in an uproar about it, even though it doesn't affect the people at all.
No, it's completely insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and like I said, ask any person. How many government agencies are there? They don't know. There's so many numerous. It's like 350, 400 might be.
Mm-hmm.
These alphabet agencies, and what do they all do? Nobody knows.
Yeah, because nobody's regulating them. So now they're being regulated. And now people are like, "Ah, crap! That bubble burst."
I mean, I was watching one I was watching when I came out here to set this up and clean up the table. I was listening to a fat electrician.
Mm-hmm.
He did one recently. I'd kind of heard about it. What he calls the raisin cartel. Going back to the patron saint of the Democrat Party, FDR. I call him the patron saint because, hallowed be thy name. He got us through World War II. He got us through the Great Depression. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Ask people who lived in those times. They kind of say, yeah, he got us through the Depression or he got us through the war. Ask historians. They'll tell you a different story. So, yeah.
My great-grandfather loved that guy. Several of his children were named after him or his wife.
Yeah. But anyways. So, yeah. But anyways, he started something, to try and balance out the prices of things. The problem was the markets crashed. A lot of people didn't have any money, so they weren't buying food. So the people selling food couldn't make any money for selling it, so prices were crashing. So to help stabilize things, because that's what the government does, is stabilize things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The government stuck their nose into it, and one of the things was raisins. So they were started up a couple shell corporations, and they were seizing. I had heard a little bit about this. This government entity, overseen by no one, started by an executive order, could take people's crops and then do nothing with it, and then pay the farmer the great price of free.
Cartels.
Cartel, yeah. I mean, it was the raisin crops, and this is the reason that everybody our age, maybe a little bit older, we all got those packets of raisins at school.
Mm-hmm.
That's because the government put a metaphoric gun to someone's head and said, "Give me your crops, or else."
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna let you keep the other half of your crop, which you can then sell. But if you do manage to sell it, we're going to tax you because that's income. And then when you use that money the money you got from selling that, we're going to tax you again because that's a transaction, and we're going to tax you sales tax and so forth. It's amazing how many times the same dollar can get taxed when you start breaking it down. But anyways, yeah, it's like they could actually and legally did take farmers' crops, namely raisins, up to like half of a crop for the great price of nothing. And one farmer finally challenged it in like 2010, I think it was.
That late?
Yeah, this was recent.
I thought this was like something back in the 50s.
Oh, it has existed since the 30s and was finally challenged.
Wow.
In our lifetime.
Like, not just our lifetime, just like not long ago.
Oh, no way. It was, you've challenged it in like the early thousands, and then a 10-year legal battle ensued. Now, you would think, reading the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution, that they're not allowed, First Amendment. She okay?
She's fine.
Okay.
She's just playing.
There's this thing in the Bill of Rights about not being, the Fourth Amendment, not being able to search people's stuff, searches and seizures.
Yeah, that's what warrants are for.
Yeah. There's this Fifth Amendment of not being able, or no, it's the Fifth?
I plead the Fifth.
Fifth, it's the takings clause that the government, shoot. I'll look it up later. Me fix that. Future me fix that. Anyways, one of the amendments, and I have the Declaration of Independence, I have the Bill of Rights hanging in the garage. I should know this. They can't just take your stuff without paying you. Reasonable compensation. It's in the Bill of Rights. It's right there. This should not be a question, and yet it was. It took a Supreme Court decision to shut this down.
Wow.
After a 10-year legal battle and a Supreme Court decision to shut this down. The judge, it ended up being like an 8-1 decision, I think, and the judge that dissented, Sotomayor, decided that this was not actually taking the crops because the government took them, and then it's not a taking because the government did seize them, but they might have sold those crops. They had the opportunity to then sell those crops, the government did. And if they did that, they might have taken the money from that. Taken that, hypothetically, and then given it some of it, that money to him. So therefore, it's not fully taking it.
But they didn't do that.
You're right. And
this is something that could have happened,
right?
But it didn't.
Apply that logic to anything else. Fed electrician, I got to...
No, so this one guy who dissented and said all that, how much money was he getting from these dirty dealings?
That's a good question. That would be Judge Sotomayor.
He was getting his palms greased by somebody about this.
Definitely. Because electrician...
It's like that... it's like that episode of The Simpsons where they were having the film festival and Mr. Burns paid Krusty and I think Mayor Quimby to vote for him. And it's like, why would you vote for Mr. Burns's movie? It's like, let's just say it moved me into a bigger house. It's like, oh crap, I said the loud part quiet and the quiet part loud.
Yep. Well, he made the perfect it's like how ludicrous this situation is imagine someone breaks into your house and takes half your stuff, and then they get arrested. But then in court, their argument is, well, you see, Your Honor, yes, I did take their TV, their VCR, and half their Blu-ray discs, but I was thinking about selling them.
And giving them the money.
And giving them some of the money from that. I was going to take their flat screen TV, their Blu-ray player, their Nintendo Switch to the pawn shop, and then maybe giving them some of the money.
Yeah,
no, you burgled me.
That don't fly.
No. And so it's like, that's how insane it was. And it took that long to it's like, yeah.
Wow.
You gotta love it. If not for the government, who would steal our crops? Without the government, where would we be?
And it's so weird because, prices are so high on everything, especially things that are grown in California because of the droughts and things. It costs more money to grow them. Therefore, it costs more money to buy them at the store.
Yeah.
And they're just taking them.
Yeah. Well, luckily, that got shut down a while ago. So at least that got shut down. God only knows what other crazy regulations have gotten in place since. And, I was watching another video about the upcoming tariffs, and this guy had a book. He was like, and because I am this kind of person, I forgot his channel name. I'll try future me find it. The guy is like, because I'm this kind of person, I keep a copy of the tax code on my desk. It holds up. It's just thick book like that.
Wow.
And it's like 2,000 pages in 0.8 size font.
Wow.
It's like 8 or 10 font and still
so
2,000.
teeny tiny.
Yes. I could not be able to read that.
Man.
Wow. It's like, and welcome to the American tax code.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we can get rid of some of that.
I think Trump is looking to. That's why he's doing this. He's like, okay, what agencies do we have that are redundant? What agencies do we have that don't really do anything? And what things are we taxing the American people for that we don't need to?
Yeah.
And like I said, the Democrats and the politicians, well, all politicians really are the ones that stand to lose something about this. So that's why they're whipping everybody up into a frenzy. They're trying their best, and unfortunately, the only people they can get to back them are the loud minority. So,
yeah, the psychopaths.
The psychopaths.
Yeah.
And
but enough sane people and normies have taken note and decided, nah, man, this fourth branch has got to go. It's not supposed to exist. It's got to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we wouldn't need to tax people so high if we didn't have that.
Yeah, and like this whole USAID thing, it's like everyone's the cry that they're crying out and like getting all, the politicians are tugging on people's hearts. They find the emotional thing to tug on your heartstrings to get you to back them. Is like, oh, our aid goes to other countries and they count on us to eat and to live, and we save lives with our vaccines and all this stuff. It's like, yeah, but that's like
that much out of that much
and they'll always find that one little good thing that they can.
I'm pretty sure
Gaza's
about gonna be okay without us spending about $1 million on
condoms for Hamas. Yeah. But where was I going with this?
The photo ops that they always do. There was a similar photo op thing with the border when they closed the borders, and which I love. It just happened like that. Like the border patrol agents have been waiting for the order.
I remember.
You remember where you're going?
Yeah.
Okay, go finish your thought.
Well, like they keep coming out that the people in the USAID are refusing to cooperate. They're like, not giving over files to be gone over by the Doge team. And this is something that I heard Devori Darkin say. And he's like, well, if the USAID is just, doing all these good things, then why don't they want to turn over the documents? I mean, doesn't everyone want to know when we're doing something good? Mm-hmm. Why not just give over the documents if all we do is good things?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, use your brain, put two brain cells together, rub them a little bit till they start to warm up, and then think about it.
While you're saying that, a thought, how my mind works, it connects things. I wonder how many of these politicians that are crying out about, how dare we audit the Fed?
But we're totally okay with auditing the people.
How many of these people that are crying out, how dare you audit the Fed, are the same ones who said, well, I don't see really anything wrong with the Patriot Act. If you haven't done anything wrong, you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
You have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you, George Bush. Screw you, George Bush.
Like you said, nothing more permanent than a temporary government act.
Anybody else remember exactly why it is we take our shoes off at the airport? I bet you don't. Bet you don't. Nope.
Yep. But yeah, it's just, the meltdowns and the memes have been hilarious.
Dance for me. Dance.
What I'm really liking about this go around for President Bush and his team, like especially the House Speaker who's
Trump.
Trump. Yeah, sorry. It's late.
It's late.
What I really like about Trump in this go around, especially, his the House Speaker who's doing an amazing job, is they're not taking crap.
No.
People are trying to set them up and throw them under the bus, and they're not letting them because they're being completely honest. They're saying exactly what is on their mind, and they're not sugarcoating it. And people that's another thing that the liberal, the legacy media is getting all pissed off about is, I got nothing to work with here.
Yeah.
They're telling the truth, and I can't spin this to make him look bad.
No, how dare Trump pull through on his campaign promises?
All these people are getting upset about these, things he's doing. It's like he said he was going to do it. Like, He said he was going to do it on the campaign trail. In his inauguration speech, he said he was going to do it. And then he did it. And people are like, oh, acting shocked. Well, like, to be honest, I mean, how often do presidents and politicians pull through on their campaign promises? But
yeah, exactly.
He's like the only one. But yeah, he said he was going to do it. Why are you shocked that he did it?
We didn't think he would actually do it.
He said he was going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, this is the guy that coined the phrase, promises made, promises kept. I mean, that was his first president. That was his first term, though.
But he just don't care. It's like people are giving him these questions to try and set him up to, like, say something that would be, incriminating. And he's just like, yeah, that's exactly what I think. Like, don't know where to go from there. It's like that Elon Musk interview with that guy, and he was trying to set him up, and he's like, asking about all the advertisers that were pulling themselves from X. He's like, good, I want them to. Bye. Hey, Bob.
Off.
Yeah, F off.
Hi, Bob.
You can quote me on that. I'm going to say it again. F off. And the guy was just like, he was expecting to try and, throw Musk down, make him roll over and beg, but no.
No, that's not how this works.
Totally disarmed this guy. And it's like, yeah. And he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, well, the media has this thing that they call you racist and then you defend yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Or they say something bad about you and then that puts you on the defensive. So then you respond to that instead of actually trying to...
And then you're being aggressive.
Yeah. And then you just, sputter and burn out.
But if you agree with them, they don't know what to do.
If you just, like, you can... Well, for the last... I was talking to Steven about this. And it comes up every so often. It's like, why can't they just work together? Well, let's see here. Let's roll the tape back. Let's jump into the way back machine. Remind me exactly when the come together moment was. Was it when Obama referred to Republicans as Nazis because they wouldn't pass his spending bill? Was it, and several times then, was it the coining of the term these MAGA maggots by Secretary of State Hillary Clinton? Was that the Kumbaya moment when we were supposed to come together? Was it the basket of deplorables by the same that term right there when he was running back in 15? Anytime a Republican or anybody sane opens their mouth, they're homophobic, Nazis, racist, women, they hate women, transphobic, xenophobic, you name it, phobic. All these coined phrases that have been in use now for 10, almost 15 years. What was the come together moment? Where was the kumbaya moment in that? Are those terms of endearment now?
Get back to work. I gotta go over here and work on something. I got a truck I need to fix.
Pretty much. I mean, Steven's more sane than that, but yeah. Those kind of things just kind of get blanked out because those words have been used so much for so long. They've lost all meaning.
Yeah, it's like, the people who called Trump Hitler. It's like, really? Did Hitler slaughter a whole race of people?
Yeah.
No,
but Trump didn't.
Trump. Sorry.
But Trump has not.
Trump has not. Trump, yeah. See, this is what happened when we record really late at night and I'm tired.
Yeah, that's okay. I know where I know what you're trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that person's literally Hitler. No, I'm pretty sure
it's
they're
like
themselves.
It's like if you're calling Trump Hitler, you obviously don't know who Hitler is. You keep saying that word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Oh my God. Yes, that is a great meme that's been, you can use that.
You can use that so many times, especially right now, people saying things they, before they, research them.
Yes. I was like,
they say things in the moment and the emotion and totally shove that foot in their mouth.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's like the lady, this is becoming kind of infamous. A lady called into I want to say it was a radio show / TV show. And she was kind of bagging on the guy, blah, blah, blah. You're horrible. And he's just like, well, I think it's going to be this. Well, when you look at the data, and he's just like, and this is exactly what happens when you flex. You're just using your white privilege. And he's, excuse me? You and your white privilege have done, just pushing people around. Ma'am, do you know who I am? Yeah, you're, he says his name. I can't remember right now. He's like,
I'm black.
I'm black. What? Ma'am, I am black. I've been black my whole life. And you could see him, and yeah, he is definitely black. She's like,
Click.
well, sputter, glitch.
Click.
Yeah, she didn't know where to go from there. So yeah, people use these phrases, they just throw them out there, and so it just doesn't work anymore.
Mm-mm. But to be honest, like I said before, the only people watching legacy media are older people, and it doesn't really matter what they talk about because they're going to watch the legacy media that follows their views. Like, the Republicans are going to watch Fox, the Democrats are going to watch CNN or MSNBC. That's just how it is. So, when they watch the, MSNBC or CNN, they're like saying all these bad things about how Trump is Hitler and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's fine because no one other than Democrats are going to hear that. So, because all the Republicans are watching Fox, where they put Trump up on this pedestal and talk good things about him. And so it doesn't really matter what they say because people are only going to listen to the things that, they want to listen to.
Well, that's enhancing your bubble or your echo chamber, and just
exactly.
The psychological term is confirmation bias. You only seek the things that reinforce your preconceived conclusions.
Mm-hmm.
Just confirmation bias, and that's dangerous. That is really,
it's really dangerous because you lose your grip on reality.
Yeah,
because you're only believing what these people are saying, and these people are just boldly lying on both sides. Really, it's not just
human fallacy.
Yeah.
We can be. That happens with any sort of thing. Brand loyalty. People buy horrible products, but they think it's great because of the brand that behind it or whatever.
Or this influencer that I like said this about it, so I'm going to go out and buy it. And no one's thinking for themselves anymore.
Yeah, and so confirmation bias and being in your echo chamber, that's just a human thing. We just do that.
It feels cozy.
Yeah.
It's nice to hear other people agree with you.
Yeah, cognitive disassociation comes in where you just, you hear something that disproves your worldview, so you just kind of ignore it and shove it under the table.
There's this website that Devory Darkins that he sponsors him, and I can't remember the name of it right now, but it capitalizes on that because it takes the news and it breaks it down like news articles, like in papers and websites and stuff like that. They have the right and the left and the neutral. So things that are, far left that are damning people on the right, they're in this section over here. And people that are like, right, damning everyone on the left, those articles are over here. Or the ones that are neutral, not really taking sides, you can read those ones right here. They separate them.
That's really clever.
Yeah, so you can do your own research and see like the same thing like this. The Republicans over here are talking about something that Trump did is in a very positive light, or the exact same thing over here on the left side that the Democrats are saying about something Trump did was just like making him seem like the devil.
Yeah.
It's like, it's all in, but the point I'm trying to make is it's all how the media spins it because it's the exact same article, it's covering the exact same thing. It's just how they spin it and present it to you.
Yeah.
That, makes a difference.
What was Nikki Flipper's Hoodwinked?
Yeah.
Tree falls in the forest, you'll get 3 stories. Mine, yours, and the trees.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's such an underrated movie.
It really is.
Hoodwinked. Go watch it. It's awesome.
Lily loves it. We need to get a new one because she destroyed that one.
That is another one of those movies that is infinitely quotable. Like,
it really is.
Just like Princess Bride. There's just a good line every 5 seconds, Do I get coffee? I mean, it's got an all-star cast. Even if you don't know who's in it, Glenn Close, Jim Belushi,
Patrick Warburton.
Patrick Warburton. It's just so good. It's so good.
I think Anne Hathaway plays Red.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it came out like in the heyday of computer animated.
In the very early
like
ages.
the Toy Story, a little bit past Toy Story age, when cartoon movies started to become all CG.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a little bit primitive in the graphics department, but the storyline is so great. You don't care.
The storyline's good. The characters are lovable, and the quotes are infinite.
There's only one actor in there I don't like, but he's the villain, so it's okay, and that's Andy Dick.
Yeah.
So.
But even then, you kind of like Boingo. As a villain, he's a likable villain.
Well, it's kind of the whole, Fight Club thing. You don't realize he's the villain till the end.
Yeah.
Until then, you just think he's Red's friend.
Yeah. Or Hans of the Southern Isles.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, we were talking about that earlier. It's like they set up that character really well, because right up until the mask slips off, or he takes the mask off, rather, by setting,
No, Anna. If only there's somebody who loved you.
Yeah, he starts darkening up the room and turning up,
and
putting out the candles.
Putting out the fire so she'll freeze to death. And
it's like, because everything prior to that set him up as a responsible person, someone
the
that can be trusted. Yeah,
someone who's caring and genuinely cares about Anna. And
crisis happens, and he leaps into action, and he's 100% behind her, helping to keep the people
calm and taken care of, and gives them gruel.
Gives them gruel and blankets, and we're gonna sit there, sort this out. I'm gonna go help her do this thing. Like, just totally responsible person who's just in it for the cause.
But really, he's just setting his own stage to be the hero.
Yeah. So I mean, just perfect evil person archetype, total psychopath, manipulative psychopath.
Like politicians.
Touche. Yep.
Bringing that back around.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah, Hoodwinked. It's a good story. Good.
It is a great movie. Yeah. Totally underrated. But life right now, there's a lot. There's a lot of wind going on, and I actually a company I'd kind of written off is Zuzu. I mean, this is kind of the whole tariff.
I have no idea who that is.
They make vehicles.
The Zuzu. Okay, I got no.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Zuzu. They used to make Well, they still make cars in Japan. They're a Japanese manufacturer. They're probably mostly known for their box trucks.
I was about to say, didn't they also make motorcycles for rallycross type stuff? Or maybe I'm thinking of Suzuki.
That's Suzuki.
Okay.
They make motorcycles.
Okay.
It's like their shtick, their main shtick. Suzuki also makes cars. But Isuzu is announcing a huge... I mean, this is in relation to the tariffs going up. The whole trade war. Woo. They've already announced plans to build a factory here in America. So, Isuzu, I like you.
I'm going to start buying your stuff now.
Yeah. In fact,
but that's good business.
Yeah.
That's it's right now. If you are a business owner, it is very bad business to fight.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna lose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and this speaks to something endearing to me, that there are no domestic vehicles. This is something we've talked about before a few times, but it's like, I'm at work and I'm putting a thermostat on a car, and it's like, this should be an American car. It's a Chevy Traverse.
Yeah, you think Chevy, you think Ford, think GMC, you think American. No. Mexico, China,
Indonesia, Taiwan, China. Yeah, everywhere but here.
All the parts come from different places. It's completely outsourced.
Yeah. I mean, even replacement parts for something old. The other day I was really bummed out that we ordered parts for this old 1964 Chevy 1-ton flatbed. America Pride.
Yeah.
And from a company that should be I've always heard the name referenced, and I thought it was going to be like a premier parts, good high quality parts. No, every box said made in China.
Oh no.
And it had where you open the door, and so it doesn't go all the way around.
Yeah, that little arm there.
Yeah, the door check arm assembly is what that is. I had to fix the thing before I could install it. Made in China.
Yeah, high quality. We're gonna charge you more. Made in China.
Right? I was listening to Uncle Tony's Garage, and he was talking about this cable kit, and he really got his dander up because I think there's a brand that makes that kit, and he went to that brand. He's used it a few times. People bought it for him, and he's installed it on customers' cars and whatnot. But he never bought one, so he finally had to go and buy one, and for one of his projects. So he went to that website, saw it, and it's like, holy crap, that's $160 for this cable kit, this throttle cable kit. So let's see who else has it. Searches, finds it on another company's website, a parts distribution website. Same kit, had the brand on there, $100. Hey, $60 off, I'll take it. And it says made in China or made in USA on the website.
Nice.
Okay, $60 cheaper. Let's keep going. We're going to save that, put that over here, and then keep searching. Finds it on Amazon for about $20. And the only difference, like looking through the pictures and looking through the parts descriptions, were some of the little plastic clips were different colors.
That's it.
It's like, very little minor differences between the kits. But the pictures were the same, it's like and everything. So he ordered the $20 Amazon one and then compared that to the ones that he had from other customers' cars. And it's like, this is the same part. And the problem is, holding onto the bag says made in China. So what's going on in that one website where it says made in USA?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's not telling the whole story here.
Right.
And so it's like, and that's just the whole auto industry. If it's that bad in the auto industry, I can't imagine, or I can only try to imagine what it's like in other industries.
Yeah, that's one thing Trump said he was going to do. Is I'm going to bring the auto industry back to America.
Oh my God! And back in the 2008 financial crash,
when all these American auto companies had to be bailed out.
And then they with the promise of rebuilding their industries here. Then they offshored everything. You could buy whole city blocks, whole residential blocks in Detroit for like $10 because everyone left.
There was no reason to stay, and well, to be honest, no one wants to buy city blocks in Detroit. But
what? Why would you? There's no job. I mean, if the idea of the factory town is still a thing, there was when California raised its corporate income tax rate to I think like 15% a few years back, Toyota pulled its factories out of California to Texas.
Oh, a lot of companies did. Toyota, Carl's Jr., Musk took all of his stuff out. A lot of industry left California when they did that.
Yeah, and the left, there was a sweet tea company, some golfer making sweet tea like the Arizona cans, making his when it was made here in California, but he was going to move it, and he actually got like browbeat down because like between federal tax and state tax, he was paying like 53% income tax on his company. Like, what's the point?
Right.
Literally, more than half of his income is going to the IRS. So what was the point of having the company?
Yeah.
But
there was the profit margins were shrinking.
Yeah, they browbeat him, called him greedy and selfish and whatever. He's like, oh, I'll keep it here, I guess, then. But
I bet he regrets that decision.
When that was happening, I don't know. I saw the headlines. That was about all I knew of it, and that was that long ago. I remember also when other companies were leaving, towns were imploding.
Oh yeah.
Just like the ghost towns of the gold rush once the vein dries up, those towns disappear.
That's something we were talking about during the COVID scare 2020 when they shut down Disneyland. We're like, the whole city of Anaheim and the surrounding cities are dependent on that park.
Yes.
All of the industry in there, the restaurants, the hotels, all of it is dependent on tourists
Coming to Disneyland.
Yeah. And that stopped, and a lot of businesses went under.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were really scared because without tourists, there's no work.
Anaheim as we know it, folks. Yes. The book Then, Now, and Forever, you can find it online, has pictures, aerial photographs of the farmland that was where Disneyland stands now.
There was literally nothing.
There was, orchards.
Nothing.
The old line, Orange Groves used to be all orange groves. It literally was.
There was, the orange grove they bought, there was nothing around it.
Yeah.
When Disneyland opened, it was like this little thing in the middle of this huge, agricultural area.
Yeah.
But because of Disneyland, it filled in around it.
Yeah.
And the city of Anaheim really grew.
Yeah.
Until then, it was just fields.
It was a rural town. Anaheim was a small rural town. It was an ag town. And so Anaheim, as we know it, sprung up from the wellspring that is Disneyland. So when that closed, it became a black hole.
Yeah, and LA County was really pushing to get it back open again because,
Orange County?
Yeah, Orange County. Orange County was like really pushing to get it back open again because it was such a big hit.
Yeah.
Like people were like had no money, they had no jobs. The economy took a tank. It's like and they kept trying appealing to the state to please lift this ban, let us open again. Okay, well, you can open, but we're going to give you really unattainable standards you have to meet first.
Yeah.
You have to guarantee that every person that comes through that gate is completely sterile and
and no screaming while you're on the roller coaster.
Yeah, no screaming while you're on the roller coasters. You can't take your mask off to eat or drink or talk.
Yeah, screw you, Newsom.
You can only open to 20% of your capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to put, 6 feet distances to the lines, which would make them snake throughout the entire park.
Oh my God, could you imagine a high volume ride like
Haunted Mansion? Haunted Mansion, that the gallery scene. They taped off to where only like 6 people could be in that whole gallery that would hold like 150 people normally.
Yeah.
They made it to only where like 6 people can go at a time.
Couldn't imagine,
Yeah.
God. I mean, the line for the Matterhorn can sometimes wrap around the mountain like at least once.
Mm-hmm.
From
it's
the
a
gate
low capacity,
right? Yeah. So imagine trying to stretch that out. It's gonna reach the front gate.
And they're like, well, we're only running at 20% capacity, so yeah, the crowds weren't that bad, but still, it was just absolutely ridiculous standards, and it took them a long time to be able to negotiate the state down to, things that are obtainable to where they can reopen. And
yeah. No, and just because Gavin Newsom's just like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like holding on to my emergency governor powers, so no.
Yeah.
Which he quickly got back. If we finally admitted we weren't in a state of emergency about COVID, so now it's bird flu.
Mm-hmm.
34 people
got
sick.
Remember it was what was it, monkeypox?
No, they canceled monkeypox because it was disproportionately affecting a certain segment of society. So they just kind of shove.
Yeah, it wasn't suiting their needs, but they tried. They tried to realize it wasn't going to work, so they moved on to bird flu.
Yeah. So they quickly memory hold monkeypox. Well, remembered. Thank you for remembering that.
And now he's got it back again because of the fires that happened. And
no, bird flu. Before the fires.
I thought he got it back because of the fires.
No, he got him back, but he was able to declare California in a state of emergency. It was like 3 weeks before the fires. It was like really close.
Yeah, because there were like 2 cases in California of bird flu.
Yeah. Like, actually, it's like 1 person died in Georgia, but 34 people were diagnosed with having it in California. And like, I'm sorry, I'm just not buying it. 34 people get sick in a state of 40 million.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the urgency. The math ain't mathin'. Math is math.
And they tried the bird flu thing like many, many years ago too, and it didn't stick.
No.
So.
But that is one reason the price of eggs is up, is because a few months ago during the last final weeks of the Biden administration, the Department of Agriculture demanded like 100,000 chickens or something, some huge
Something
number of
million.
couple million chickens be put to death and destroyed because of fears of bird flu. So without those chickens, no eggs, and without those eggs, supply and demand curves kick in.
And then the holidays hit, and everyone's baking. And
Everyone's baking. And
I was making
eggnog.
I was making a grocery list today, and I usually buy eggs because they make good, quick breakfasts in the morning.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
Last time I bought eggs, it was $7.40 something. And I was like, okay, that's pushing it, but I'll buy them. I couldn't do it. Could not justify buying eggs this time because it was over $9 for 1 dozen. Not the 18-pack, not the 24-pack, a dozen.
A dozen, great value brand.
Great value, yeah.
We're not getting the producers or nothing.
Or
like that.
Eggland's Best. No. The generic brand eggs.
Yeah,
were
store brand.
over $9 for 1 dozen, and I was like, can't do it. Got to find something else.
What? And exactly, this is why people voted. It's just like, abortion rights, abortion. It turns out people are buying milk and eggs a lot more
than they're
getting
having abortions. Yeah.
But it's anti-women. No, women are usually doing the groceries, and they're tired of paying $9 for a dozen eggs.
Yeah. I'm going to resist getting up on my soapbox about the abortion thing, but, whatever.
That's never going to end.
Yeah. Well, the thing that bothers me about it is people are like, oh, it's women's rights. It's women's rights. Okay. Under certain circumstances, it is acceptable. If a woman is raped or
the famous 3 exceptions.
Yeah, the 3
Rape,
exceptions.
Incest, life of the mother.
Yeah. But people are acting like abortion is the only form of contraception. It's like, go get a condom. It's cheaper.
In some cases, it's free.
Yeah, in some cases, it's free. And get a condom. There's spermicides you can use. There's, implants. There's little rods you put in your thing. There's shots. There are so many other forms of contraception that don't result in conception.
Or just try keeping your clothes on. It's free.
That doesn't work. But say people are going to do it, but it's just there are other means of doing this, and like it all it gets down to like the Babylon Bee says, when people love it when we say that they can kill babies, and they're like, oh, we're not killing babies, like. We're killing babies.
It's literally what you're doing.
Yeah, it's like, and the people that, I'm a firm believer that if you go and get abortion more than 3 times in a year, you should just be sterilized.
Oh my God, 100%.
Because those are people that just don't care.
Yeah.
They're abusing resources, and they're going to do it again.
Yeah.
And they probably shouldn't be breeding anyway, like prostitutes. People who are just stupid, and
but all around the world found that only stupid people are breeding. It's amazing they're even breathing.
My cousin, God bless her, I don't think she listens to us, so she's not exactly the brightest bull in the box, but she got pregnant because her boyfriend said, oh, I'll just pull out.
That don't
work. And her baby is proof of that. Granted, she loves her baby very much and takes care of her, but yeah.
No, that don't work.
And if you're with a guy, and if you're with a guy and you're gonna have sex and you want to use protection but he doesn't, walk away.
That's a red flag.
That's a red flag. Just walk away. That means he doesn't respect you as a person. He doesn't respect you at all. He only cares about himself.
He is not mature enough.
He is not mature enough. He is gonna make you have a baby and then leave you.
Council of Men disapproves of his actions.
Yeah.
Strongly. Yeah, guys, wrap it up.
Yeah. Put a glove on it.
Put a glove. No glove, no love.
But yeah, so like people are like, oh, all these women are gonna have babies they don't want to have. It's like, it's not it is the absolute last resort.
Yeah.
There are so many avenues you could take to avoid that altogether.
I think it was either Ron Paul or Milton Friedman who said, it's not really about whether or not abortion should be illegal. It's that it should be unthinkable.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the best idea. The thought, the idea that you could put up on a plinth and look at it and go, wow, wouldn't that be great?
Mm-hmm.
That to have a culture in that we're not even discussing the legality of birth or of abortion, of the morality of it.
Yeah.
It's that it should be unthinkable that our society should be so well off that you wouldn't even think about it. You'd be like, oh, wow, a baby. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the circumstances of its creation, you would be happy to see the baby.
But even if, all other avenues failed, you might turn to abortion as, a last resort. But there are still other things you can do. You can have that baby and give it up for adoption. There are parents out there who can't have kids that will adopt a child as soon as it's born. Like they'll interview the mother and they'll, form a bond with the mother, form a contract that, the mother gets the last say. Like once the baby is born, the mother can still choose to keep it if they want to.
Yeah.
But if not, then it goes with the other parents. The mother disappears.
Yeah.
What's
it called? A sealed adoption or
something like that.
Yeah, it's where they never know the identity of the birth mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could do it you could do it an open adoption or a closed adoption.
Closed adoption.
There it is.
Yeah.
You can have an open adoption where all information is known, or a closed adoption where no information is known.
Yeah.
There's options. There's options.
Like one of my friends, she's adopted, and she sees her adopted parents as her real parents, but she still talks to her biological mother, and I wouldn't say has a relationship, but she knows of her and she talks to her and she checks in on her every now and then. But as far as she sees it, her adoptive parents are her real parents.
Yeah. Because that was who grew up with her. That's who took care of her and loved her and brought her into being a person. And so, there's options out there. And
there are places that you don't want to go through the hassle of, picking somebody to adopt your kid. There are safe places you could leave them. Go to any fire department.
Yes.
No questions asked. Take the baby away from you.
Any fire department, any police station, most hospitals. Actually, I'm pretty sure just about any hospital. I think even some urgent cares. Schools.
Yeah.
A lot of schools. I think even some urgent cares. There's a way that,
you can drop the baby off. No questions asked. You won't be held accountable. They'll take that baby and put it with a parent who will care.
Yeah,
or if not just I shouldn't say parent who would care. A parent who could provide for the child.
Somebody that will take care of this child.
Because some people, it's not that they don't care. It's just they just can't. So.
Yeah. The 16 and pregnant and scared.
Yeah. So rather than have an abortion, you can have the kid and give it up for adoption.
Yeah.
As long as it's not a danger to the mother being that young.
Yeah. And, and that's the result of a culture thing, the famous rap album, Babies Making Babies. It's like, God.
Don't glorify this.
No. This is bad, and they put it on TV, 16 and pregnant. That's a TV show.
Don't glorify this.
Oh, we're trying to show how scary it is. No,
you're just making this child who had a child famous, and they're not gonna, sneer at that.
This has happened so many times around the world. There was this anorexia, bulimia.
Mm-hmm.
People that are just walking skeletons that are so underweight that it's horrible. They look like Holocaust victims. And there was this ad campaign, I think it was in Europe, of putting this person out there on these billboards and talking about the dangers of looking like that. What happened? Cases of that went up.
Because girls wanted to lose weight.
Yeah, it just puts it in the subconscious. It puts that image in the subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
And then you, on the other end of that, my 600-pound life.
Oh my God.
And
Yes.
you put that show out there and you talk, and that show is like, oh, we're showing how horrible it is and how hard it is and why the dangers of looking like that. Guess what? More people are doing it. Especially in today's culture where people are looking for their 15 minutes of fame.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are aiming for it.
It's like Homer in that episode where he wanted to weigh over 300 pounds so he can go on disability.
Yes. Yes. It is exactly that.
This is why I don't watch reality TV. The closest I get is a baking show. Great British Bake Off.
Hey, at least that inspired you to do something, fun and interesting and practical. You learned how to make bread.
Well, I tried to make bread. It didn't go too well. But, it was my very first time. I didn't expect it to come out perfect.
No, it wasn't perfect.
It wasn't perfect. It was underproved.
But it was not overworked.
No.
Overworked.
It wasn't overworked.
Underproved.
It was just underproved.
Hey. And we don't have a proving drawer. So
it is freaking cold. So
you made do with what you had. You adapted pretty well by just putting the bowl on top of the stove.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, you made do.
But no one ever does it perfectly their first time. And it's like, I've baked so many things over the years, mostly cakes and desserts and things like that. But I never attempted to make
10-pound cheesecake.
That was actually not supposed to be that heavy. It didn't cook all the way through. He still ate it. Bless his heart.
I ate every crumb.
I think it was like a Father's Day gift or something like that. But yeah, I'd never made bread before or attempted to make bread before that didn't come in with a premix box, like cornbread or something like that, or banana bread. So.
I mean, even, using a mix, you could still screw up. I've seen people burn top ramen, okay? So even using a mix still counts as baking a cake because you still have to do stuff to it. And then you make your own frosting.
Yeah.
But
I didn't go on the internet and say, this recipe is horrible. I did this instead of this and this instead of this, and it tastes awful.
I substituted my sugar for table salt.
Yeah. Instead of flour, I used sugar, and it just totally didn't work. Yeah. I didn't have any yeast, so I just used a lot of baking soda.
They said to use heavy whipping cream, but I used shaving cream instead.
0 stars. It didn't work out.
Recipe called for apple cider, so I substituted apple cider vinegar.
Yeah.
Shouldn't affect it that much, right?
Yeah.
Stupid people.
Yeah.
And then they blame the recipe.
Yeah. It's like, well, yeah, the recipe turned out awful. You didn't do the recipe. You just mixed a bunch of random stuff together saying you were doing this recipe. Hoping to get the same result.
See, those are the people buying the vegan chicken broth. What?
Yeah.
It's like vegan... What? Vegan chicken? How do you have chicken broth? What? Is it just water? With some celery in it? Bits of celery and carrots in it, I guess. I don't know. I can't wrap my mind around that. That's like, the fake meat burgers. And it's like, no, it's not burger.
No, don't. If it's going to be something different, don't call it what. Yeah. Okay,
so the memes have been, the internet has been, the past year or so have been very generous to us with memes.
Mm-hmm.
2-panel meme talking about fake meat. It's like average science denier, and it's a picture of RFK Jr. with his shirt off. And my God, is he jacked. For a guy that's pushing 70, he is jacked.
Well, he takes care of himself.
Yeah, so science denier, right? And he's 70 and jacked,
Mm-hmm.
Average, guy telling you fake meat and science embracer. Bill Gates. The guy who looks like his own emoji, the pregnant man emoji. That's what Bill Gates looks
Yeah.
like.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, who are you supposed to trust on this?
Yeah, by the way, Bill Gates went on The View and was damning Doge too because all of his funds for his malaria research just got compromised.
Oh, yeah, the Bill Gates Foundation, which it's a mixed bag. They do some good things, but they also do a lot of shady crap.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, they do the shady crap under the guise of the good things, just like all of the USAID. But
yeah, ignore that man behind the curtain.
exactly.
I am the great and powerful Oz. No, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
So the last, we'll start wrapping up.
Yeah.
The last couple years have been very generous with the memes, and we hope that continues because leftists having meltdowns entertains us. So dance for us, puppets. Just entertain me. It's just.
See, to a certain point, it can be entertaining, but after a while, it just gets annoying. It's like,
it really does.
It's like, really, you're that dumb that you're sitting here just like scream. You can't handle yourself. It's like that cartoon you sent me, the Freedom Tunes. I am literally shaking right now. Like all these people are having meltdowns and it's like shaking.
Yeah. You see them all doing it. Oh my God, these people are so fake.
Yeah.
They're so fake. It's like the people having these meltdowns, emotional meltdowns.
They're just looking for clicks.
Yeah.
Let me get this straight. Let me be very clear here. The people who go on TikTok to have their little, mental breakdown because of something that Trump did cares zero about what actually happened. All they're looking for is the clicks. And they're doing that because if this emotion was true and it was really real and they just couldn't handle themselves, they wouldn't have taken the time to set up their phone, get the right angle, do your hair, get your clothes, and then start crying. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, wait, let me open my app and let me...
They care zero about what it is they're crying about. They only care about the click.
I spilled my coffee.
Coffee or tea?
Watered down coffee tea. It's 50-50.
Okay.
Watered down coffee.
Well, at least it wasn't premium stuff.
Nah, I just wanted something warm.
So yeah, it's just the people who.
It's
so fake.
It's so fake. Like I saw one that was a girl in a PetSmart, and it's just engagement farming. It's clickbait engagement farming, and I'm hoping we're gonna see that start to die off. Classy. Woman of my dreams, folks.
You're hoping to see that die off.
I'm hoping to see that die off. And she's sitting like in the shelves. There's like, you got the multiple shelves and it's like in a PetSmart or something like that. And so she's got her phone kind of stashed to the side. So you can only see like from this side of her face.
Mm-hmm.
And her dog is right here. And people are like coming up to her. She's like slowly crying and sobbing and whatnot, and she's just sitting there with her dog petting it, and people are like, are you okay? Please don't right now. Please don't right now. And like people or employees are like, you can't really be sitting there. Like, I have to sit here. I have to. And then there's like a kid in the next 2-3 aisles over. You can just hear some kid screaming something, throwing it. I want that tantrum, like a 2-year-old having a tantrum because they're not getting the cereal they wanted.
It's like, okay, if going out in public hurts you that much, then something went terribly
Seek
wrong.
help. Seek professional help. Get counseling.
Mm-hmm.
Like a child having an I want that tantrum 2 aisles away
Mm-hmm.
causes you to have a panic attack. You're the problem.
Yeah, it's not everyone around you, it's you. My friend, she works for this company and she's a manager, and she was training this other girl to be a manager, and this girl is like total brat. She was raised a brat. She is still a brat, even though she's an adult. And she's trying to become
a Veruca Salt that she had in there.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That called her a bully and all that stuff. But no, this girl is just a brat, and she keeps getting passed up to be a manager because she's not learning how to manage. She doesn't want to manage a store. She just wants to be called a manager and have a pay raise. So she's
the perks without the responsibilities.
Yeah. So my friend was training her. Finally said, "I can't train this girl anymore. You need to give her to somebody else." So they transferred her to somebody else, doing the same thing with this other person. Just, you're against me. You're bullying me. You're not. You're blah blah blah. Playing the victim. And there was a friend of hers who was in the same program at this, at the same company. And a friend of hers went into the program after her, and she got promoted before her. And she lost it. This was like, her best friend. This was like a bridesmaid at her wedding.
Oh, wow.
And
baby clips.
And so she unlost it and unfriended this girl. And it's like, "You're not my friend anymore, blah, 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 blah." And so finally her friend said to her, "It's not this company. It's not everybody else. It's you." And they never spoke since. She had a huge meltdown. She cursed this girl 12 ways from Sunday and then walked out, and she's like, "Fine."
I mean, in that moment, that's actually being their best friend. When
someone's honest.
Someone's honest and saying, yeah.
And they're like, "It's not them. It's you."
Yeah.
But, you were willing to throw away this so-called, wonderful friendship. She was my maid of honor because someone was honest with you. That's pretty bad.
Throwing it over some melodrama. Not even drama,
Yeah,
just weak
melodrama. Yeah, this is I wouldn't even say high school. This is elementary school level pettiness,
Yes, that is, yeah. 3rd grade level pettiness is what that is. Mm-hmm. Wow, I think you just coined a phrase.
Yeah.
Grade school pettiness.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and these are adults. These are grown-ass adults. But yeah, this girl's just a brat.
Man.
She told her dad she's getting married. Found some guy to marry her, I guess. And she told her dad, "I want you to take out a second mortgage on your house so I can have 2 weddings. I want one in America and one in Mexico."
No.
And he said no. And she wouldn't talk to him. She stopped talking to him because of it.
Oof, that's gotta be hard on him.
Yeah.
To watch his daughter dissolve, and
it's like.
I mean, he's probably asking himself, "Where did I go wrong?"
Exactly. That's probably exactly what he's saying. It's like, wait a minute. Is this what I raised? I raised her to be like this? This entitled little brat. But anyway, yeah. So some people are just like that. They think they're entitled, and they will defend it to the last.
Yeah.
And they think everyone else is the problem, not them.
Yeah. I mean, that's just narcissism.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people have just had enough of it. Enough people have had enough of people being narcissists, and they're just, you can only call someone, scream at someone and insult them for so long before the insults just don't mean anything anymore.
And people get tired of taking your crap.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, I'm not going to change the way I live to suit your to
neuroses.
Your neuroses. Yeah. I don't have to live in your imaginary world.
Exactly. Yeah. This is a world people create for themselves and expect everyone else to know about it and everyone else to pander to it.
I mean, yeah, that's exactly what the whole pronoun thing was. And it's like, enough people are just like, "No, I'm not doing that."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what's so funny is there's, this is something that I think I saw it on Devory Darkins.
We like his show.
Yeah,
it's a good show.
He's a good show. Common sense all the way. Go you, Devory. But
and well researched.
Well researched, yes. There are a lot of Democrats, politicians who had their pronouns on their Facebook and their website and stuff like that are suddenly taking them all off. Which means that they really never really cared about this movement to begin with, but now that Trump said that there's only 2 genders, they're just going with the flow. Go with the flow. Don't care about the cause, just going with the flow.
They pandered. They were pandering hard. That's like several people have pointed out, because the internet exists, and now that we have what's the word I'm looking for? VPNs. Virtual private networks. You can change.
VPN. Yeah. I thought you said there's some difference.
you can go onto a website and they think, you're in Texas, but your website the website thinks you're in Brussels.
Yeah.
So it shows you different pictures, and they use it for, a lot of people push VPNs, for streaming services.
Yeah, like Netflix and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
so-
And AVGN does that.
Yeah, so movies that aren't available here or are available over in Europe or Australia, really kind of cool. And it's like, well, wait a minute, why are we? You mean we're not getting the full buffet of movies?
Nope.
Come on. Why not?
Well, it's like, you're on Netflix and it says leaving soon.
Yeah. But anyways.
Yeah.
Every June, companies pander to the gay thing. It's gay month, which it used to only be one day, then it became a week, and then it became a month, and then it kind of became a season.
Mm-hmm.
And for a brief while, it was like all year.
Mm-hmm. When all the Pride rallies happened and
yeah,
stuff like
it's
that.
Pride month, and it was like Pride season, and then Pride year. 2020 was like Pride year.
Yeah.
And I think that was the high watermark, and it's coming down.
I think it's just because, everyone was bored because they were home and they weren't going to work because of the COVID thing. And they were bored.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was between Alphabet Pride and BLM and Antifa.
What does the Q stand for?
I don't know.
What does the Q stand for?
Queer?
Maybe? Questionable?
I don't know. Questionable for sure.
Quirky?
Nah, I like quirky.
No idea what the Q stands for. If it did stand for queer, it'd just be the redundant.
It really would.
Because you have gay, lesbian, bisexual in there. So therefore...
It doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean...
I'm trying to put common sense into something that has no common sense. So,
No,
yeah,
no,
that's
no.
the problem I have.
I mean, they really, like... The gay pride flag became the progress flag because they put this brown stripe on there for black people. It's like, wait, this is the gay pride flag, but you're putting in black people in there. Are you just insinuating that all black people are gay? That's rude. So it became the progress flag.
Well, it's funny because a lot of people who are, we have a area of our town. It's called the Tower District. That's, it's widely, it's kind of like the Castro Street of Fresno. Everyone in that area is said to, it's where, the homosexuals.
It's where the gays.
Where the gays go and live. All the hipsters and the gays and stuff like that.
What happens in Fab stays in Fab.
Yeah. So, Lily's speech therapist used to operate in an area where I had to drive through the Tower District once a week, and so many houses down that street were flying both the gay flag, the rainbow flag, and the Black Lives Matter flag. And I'm like, I'm willing to bet you're white.
You know what those are? Those are the don't hurt me flags.
Yeah.
If I put this in my house, if I put this on my business, hopefully nobody throws a brick through my window.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, it's reached a point where like nobody cares. Nobody's following those anymore. Those are it's falling away, thankfully. But talk about pandering.
Mm-hmm.
Companies do this. They change their Facebook profiles and whatnot, all change to have the flag on and whatnot. Well, they do that here, and they do that in certain places in Europe. But depending on where they are, they don't do that.
Well, yeah, because you're going to make yourself a target.
Right. A lot of gay is still kind of outlawed in Russia.
It's outlawed in Russia. It's outlawed in all of the Middle Eastern states.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of Africa,
basically,
China, Russia, they're not doing
basically, it. The British Empire and America are the only ones that really tolerate it.
Yeah.
Even in Mexico and South America, it's they probably won't kill you on sight, but they'll definitely ostracize you.
Yeah. Yeah. So Ford, BMW, Mercedes, all these companies that were putting, GM, all these companies putting the pride flag and progress flags on their profiles and whatnot for their internet use, for their various social media pages. They were only doing that in the aforementioned America and former UK or English Empire areas.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't doing that in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, same company, different website.
Different websites depending on where you were. So people using virtual networks found that out and said, excuse me, you're not actually behind this whole thing.
You're just pandering.
And brought the receipts. They had the pics. It happened.
And the companies kind of did this.
Well, you know.
Look at that over there. Run.
Aliens.
Aliens.
I mean, that was another thing that was like listening to Timcast, and it became a joke because they announced the existence of aliens so often. And it's like, okay, so the government has said aliens exist. What did Hunter Biden do now?
Well, you know, something I was thinking about last night, like, you were playing Zelda and I was just kind of laying there zoning out. And this is something that you can bring up to Eric at your work. It's like, now that, you know, Trump is in office and Trump is doing Trump things, what happened to P. Diddy? Nobody is talking about him anymore.
Diddy parties, yeah.
The Diddy parties, the Diddy list of the Diddy parties. That just, where did that go? Because a guy he works with is all fired up about it. It's like, oh, they found out this and they found out this and they found out this.
Dish and dirt, yeah.
Yeah. And nobody talks about that anymore, do they?
Mm-hmm.
They found something new.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's like the Elaine Maxwell client list, the Epstein Island client list. You know, probably a lot of the same people.
Why do you think Ellen left the country?
Uh-huh. Oh, no. It was for abortion. Oh, I love that. Ultimate clown show. Ellen DeGeneres has fled Trump's oppressive America for abortion rights.
I was about to say, why does a gay woman care about abortion rights?
Not only that, but there are 3 good reasons, and you named one of them. There's 2 more. Why it is complete malarkey that she left for abortion rights.
One, a woman who is strictly lesbian, unless they get an artificial insemination, is not going to get pregnant.
She's super rich.
She's super rich.
Can afford whatever medical procedure she wants, including abortions. And she's 60.
Mm-hmm.
What do we know about women in their 60s?
Menopause.
She ain't got no eggs to fertilize even if she was getting the D.
That
so, strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. You're out.
And I'm willing to guess that there's one of the names on P. Diddy's list, and probably Epstein's list.
There are many photos of her and him just be like.
There was like somebody who pointed it out. I don't know if it was edited in, or if that's like really what was there. There was a building, you know, because on her show set in the background there was like a building with some palm trees. It was really pretty. Turned out that building was from Epstein's Island. And like I said, I don't know if this had been edited and somebody put that in there and then put it out on the internet. I don't know, because I never watched the Ellen show.
Okay, so we'll go allegedly.
Allegedly. But yeah.
I love that word.
I know.
I need that on a shirt.
But I was like, if that's true, that is hilarious. That is, it's like, wow, just come out and say it. You know?
Man alive.
Man alive. But yeah, it's getting late.
It's getting late, but to quote the great Patrick Bet-David, the future looks bright.
The who?
He has a podcast I listen to at work, and that's their catchphrase: "The future looks bright." So as much
Future's
as I would,
so bright, gotta wear shades.
Yeah. So as much as I would like to put that on a shirt, he's already pretty much copyrighted that.
Yeah.
So VT Merch says that he's got like he is actually like always on this campaign. He wants to see when they do a live event. It's like, I want to see all of you wearing Future Looks Bright hats.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
Because that means more money for him.
Well, of course. Yeah. But it's also just this optimism of the life.
Optimism's good. We need more of it.
And these are very optimistic times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we're... and we are seeing the reemergence of the American empire. We're taking back what was ours, and we're taking more things. The Gulf of America.
We're not bending knees anymore to countries who hate us.
Yes, we're not. We're kissing up to people who hate us or insane people.
Yeah.
So we're putting the asylumees are going back to the asylums. These are going to be happy times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not perfect times.
Nothing's ever going to be perfect.
Nope. there will always be some problems. In every life, a little rain must fall.
And no matter how good what you're doing is, and no matter how much you have the data to show that things are better this way instead of the other way, there's always going to be somebody crying about it.
Yeah.
You can't please everybody. And Trump knows that. And that's why I think he's doing so good, is he realized I'm going to do me, and the people are backing me on it. And you can't please everybody. There's always going to be somebody screaming about me. That's cool. Because it is impossible to please everybody.
Yeah. I mean, that's the real expectation is, I don't expect perfection. I don't expect utopia. I don't expect nirvana.
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect, the impossible. I expect just make it better than it is.
Mm-hmm.
I want tomorrow to be better than today. At
like
least
I was
that much.
Under the Biden administration, I was legitimately scared. And if Kamala had gotten elected, I would have been really scared. We would be like looking into, Welsh, Welsh communities in Argentina.
Where can we go, Max?
Like it's been like really scary because I make the grocery list. It's like I can't get enough groceries. It's like. And
doing our finances, it just feels like we're just barely treading water sometimes. It's like,
but as tight as we might be, like there are people. It used to be cheaper to live in an apartment because you got to share it with other people. It's smaller, it's the cheaper route. But now it's way more expensive.
Yeah,
because of PG&E.
Oh yeah,
because people in apartments don't have the option to get solar. Or generators or things like that. And I know a few people who live in apartments. One of my friends, her PG&E bill was $800 for 1 month.
How is that physically possible?
I don't know. That's why I just praise you so much for saying we needed to get solar panels when we did, because we dodged a huge bullet because of you. And unfortunately, the people who live in apartments don't have that choice, or people who rent a house, they don't have that choice. They have to just bite the bullet and pay it because it's a necessity, not a want. And PG&E has them over a barrel, and they know it. And
unless they can convince their landlord to hook that up for them, but then you have to deal with the increased cost of your rent.
Yeah.
I mean, those solar panels, it was a great idea,
Somebody's
but
got to pay
they're
for
not
them.
free.
Yeah. And it's sad, because we were scared, but there are a lot of people who are really scared right now. So
yeah, but again, PBD said it. The future looks bright.
Yeah, and Trump's trying to bring energy back to America. So hopefully within but before his term's over,
I think 6 months from now, we're going to be looking at a different economic picture. Everything, I love the idea of, the metaphor of the ships.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger the ship, the harder it is to turn it. You look at a boat, a rowboat, 2-person rowboat.
You can turn that on a dime.
Right. Now compare that to a aircraft carrier.
It needs a few miles.
They say, it actually takes like 2 miles of ocean for an aircraft carrier to make a U-turn. America, economically, is a really big dang boat. I mean, our economy, our GDP is up there in the trillions. That is a big boat. And if we've been in a nosedive for a while, it's going to take 2 miles of ocean for that thing to make a turn.
Trump's been in office for 2 weeks. Why aren't things different yet?
Hold your horses, folks. It's going to take time.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah, Rome wasn't built in a day. That's beautiful. So give it a few months. And like I said, they killed all those chickens. We actually were talking about that at work one day. Is how long does it take to replenish chickens?
Right.
To hatch an egg and make it reach maturity and start producing more eggs. For most breeds, it's about 6 to 8 months, depending on breed.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like the American boiler chicken or whatever, just
the ones that we usually buy eggs from, the ones that are usually in packages.
Yeah. So
what's really funny is eggs have gone up exponentially, but chicken breast doesn't. The chicken breast, the frozen chicken breast I buy, great value at Walmart, is the same price it was 6 months ago.
The gears have stopped.
Yeah. Since this makes none.
Because it's coming from the same animal.
Same animal. And if it was diseased, they wouldn't have put it into packages.
No, it goes into the incinerator.
Yeah. But the chicken breast and at least the Great Value brand was around, actually it's a little bit cheaper. It was like $10 about 6 months ago. Now it's like 9 something.
I wonder if they're importing it?
Maybe. But then it would have gone up a little bit because of import tax.
Well, that's recent.
There's always been import tax.
Well, true. Well, I mean, this gets into, the food manufacturing business is a weird thing. Like chicken breasts or chicken patties that we get.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that's always kind of boggles my mind. And there are brands out there, I think the one we get, like Tyson or whatever, a number of them, we usually get the Great Value brand, that the chickens are here.
Mm-hmm.
You have the chickens. They're here.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this. Yeah,
and
it makes no sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense because the process does not make any sense. That
the chicken is here.
You raise the chicken, you kill the chicken, it's now a carcass. You then send that they take the meat off of that all the way to China. You freeze it, put it on a boat, send it to China. They turn it into chicken patties, chicken nuggets, and then send it back here, put it in a bag, and send it to the supermarket. Somehow, that process of sending it all the way to China and then having it come back is cheaper than just turning it into nuggets here.
And that's what Trump's trying to do. He's trying to make you turn it into nuggets here and make it to where it's not going to cost more.
No, that's just crazy to me. Like, really? How much does it cost to turn chickens into chicken nuggets? It doesn't make any sense. But, yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that was something I was thinking about today while I was making the grocery list. So I was like, how come the price of chicken breast hasn't gone up?
I don't know. Maybe it's, kind of cheap to import chicken meat, but not eggs. That's going to take some research. I don't know.
Well, I guess one thing I could see is the chicken meat you can freeze. You can't really freeze chicken eggs. You can refrigerate them, but you can't really freeze them. So
do they pop? What happens if you freeze an egg?
I don't know. Eggs are too expensive to try this experiment.
Somebody out there, let us know. If you got to spare a couple bucks, get some eggs, freeze them, let us know. Leave in the chat. Leave in the comments, please.
But yeah, so
that is weird. That is weird. But I think, wrapping up again. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry.
6 months from now, we're going to be looking at a different, more optimistic economic picture. I really feel like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, we're back, baby.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people around the country collectively are just breathing a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
And I know I was.
I almost ran yelling down the streets, woo! But I didn't want to be like that guy.
Yeah, especially since you wake up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
So we didn't really intend for this to be such a political post. I mean, we didn't really have an agenda for this episode. It just kind of happened that way.
No, but I mean, we've always talked about culture cues, and this has been like on everything that's, I think even people who only use the internet for watching cat videos have picked up on this,
I mean, I hate politics up until Trump's first administration and, leading into, that election where Biden got elected. I avoided politics like the plague. I hated it. It made me feel bad, made me feel icky. It's just horrible.
Yeah.
But now I'm paying attention.
It really surprised me that it's like, wait, you're watching things like Devoid Darkins? Wow.
Well, it's fun to see, Democrats, making asses of themselves.
Oh, man. Australia, there's a channel in Australia that has a whole segment on that. That's like part of their nightly news. Sky News in Australia, they have, lefties losing it.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yes.
Now it's time for lefties losing it.
Wow. It's like, so we're not the only ones that find these people entertaining. It's part of the nightly news in Australia. Australia, Australia,
Love you,
Australia,
amen.
And with that,
Toodles.
good night. We shall see you again.
It's that one.
Yes, I know.